All right. So, did you get a chance completing all the assignments as till date? Assignment rules, lead assignment, case assignment rules, and creating queues.
Hey Dilip, good
Hey,
morning.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, I think good evening for you. Uh, Sorry, I didn't complete the assignment because I'm not feeling well these days.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, no problem. Get well soon first, and then find out the time. Yeah.
thank you.
Charan, what about you?
Really fine. I finished until the 39. I need to do from 40. I will be
Okay.
doing it soon.
Okay, okay. Because see, why I'm insisting you to complete this is like if you do a little hands-on on the while doing this assignments, so you
Yeah.
will there are many chances that you won't forget it. That's
Yeah,
that's what. So if you just listen the class and that is it, and it's gone. Okay, so that's why I was asking. All right. So yeah, in our previous class we have discussed about web to lead and web to case. So why we are using this web to lead concept? So basically, to get the leads through our already available website. Okay, so the company website. So to get that new leads information, so we are using web to lead concept. So we have discussed how to configure a web to lead and how we are going to design the, get the HTML code for us created by Salesforce CRM itself. And then we are using that form and placing it in our website. And then it's available for the external users to, come to us, in case if they are interested in our business or in case if they are interested in knowing more about our products or services. So, yeah. And so we have learned how to create a HTML form, and then we configured the web to lead. And let's go to our org. Let me share. Go to our application, and then on the application, go to setup. And here, if you search web, you can find web to lead and web to case. So web to lead, we have configured a web to lead. Okay, so we have made use of this create web to lead form, and then we have configured a web to lead rule. Okay, so that form, we have, right, this is our form which we have created. So we are going to give it to our designing team. It was the past, but now it's like you can design a Lightning Web component and paste it, use that component on your Lightning communities. That means the websites. And then you get a lead record created. So if I fill in these details and submit, so I'm going to get a lead record created. So just to test, Okay, so I filled this information and clicked on submit. It will route to Salesforce page. Okay, so that is how we designed our web to lead page. So go to our org. Yeah, here in our leads, we can see that lead record getting created. Okay, so our lead record, today's leads, let's say test one. Yeah, this is the one which I created, right? So this is how we can get the leads created for our business from the website. Okay, so this is the basic concept, but the latest one is you can design a Lightning Web Component and then you can expose that Lightning Web Component to your communities page, that is website, or you can directly expose through sites also. You will get a URL generated, and only if you want just your company or the organization doesn't use the website for external purpose, let's say. Okay, so in that case, you can create a site's URL and then you can expose only that particular URL to the outside public so that they fill in the lead details. So that also we can do. We can generate, we can, even create a QR code and then display it in our campaign. So whenever somebody scans at that QR code, so probably that they will be routed to our lead registration page, and then they can fill in the details and submit. So we get a lead record created here. So we can do the programming that way using Lightning Web Components. And yeah, coming to our topic. So we have done Web to lead, and I have requested you all to complete the Web to case assignment, Web to case. So you can configure the Web to case on your Salesforce org, but if you get stuck in any of doubt, you can go ahead and ask me later when you are doing this particular assignment. I would request you all to complete all the assignments. And then so once it is created, where it is going, so we can also configure the auto response rules, and based on our lead assignment rule, it is going to get assigned to a queues or the users, how like how we configure our rules. Okay, so if the user is like just keep on submitting the form and he don't have any confirmation that his details are submitted, then it's going to create multiple duplicate records in our systems. To avoid that, we will be using web to lead auto response rules, so that we will be making use of email templates and sending him an email. So he will be entering his email ID. So to that email ID, we will be sending an email saying your details has been received. We would be getting in touch with you shortly, something like that. So that the user can submit his details only once, right? So he's getting a confirmation. So we can make use of email templates concept also here, right? So web to case, web to lead auto response rules we have, web to case also auto response rules we have. We can configure them. Okay. So I just showed you on the last class how to do it. Yeah, I would ask you to go ahead and explore these auto response rules on your free developer org. Okay, so let's talk. And the next thing is profile. So if you remember, we have already created profiles on our Salesforce org. So there we just created the profiles because we wanted the users to be created, and that's why we have created the profile, but we haven't discussed in detail what profile is. Okay, so profile, so here if you see, these are all the profiles which are in our Salesforce org. Okay, so if you want to create a new profile, you can go ahead and create, but before I would see users, go to users. So today we are going to deal with profile. So since initially we created development users, some other profile, and now team lead user. So I have assigned default system administrator profile. Now the profile is nothing but it's just a kind of component where we have a set of permissions to be given to the users. Okay. So permissions, when I say permissions, it includes permissions at the object level, permissions at the field level, permissions at the tab level, permissions, different kind of permissions, login IP, login hours, login IP ranges. So administrative settings, system settings, custom settings, so many things within the profile. So we are going to discuss in detail all these permissions which are present in our profile. Okay. So before, what I'm going to do is, to this team leader, the user, I'm going to, this is the default profile available, but I'm going to assign a custom profile. This is the standard profile. Okay. So the problems with the standard profile is you cannot, you can customize the standard profile up to a certain level. That means only few permissions on this profile can be customizable, few cannot be. So the good practice is create your custom profile by making a clone of the existing standard profile, and then this custom profile you can fully customize. Okay, so you can change everything. So that drawback you have, drawback with the standard profile you are going to overcome with the custom profile. Okay, so yes, let's go to, so I'm going to create a profile and assign it to my team leader user. So currently it's on the standard profile. Okay. So I'm going to create a new profile, and I wanted this team leader user to have the Salesforce license. So I'm going with system administrator profile. This is the profile which is having more privileges. Okay. So let's see, TA. TL profile, team lead profile. I'm naming it as just like that. Okay, save. Right. So if you want to modify anything, we can modify it here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, but I'm going to first assign this profile to my team leader user. So customization we are going to do. Right. So this user I'm modifying, edit. So here, if you see, I'm using system administrator profile, which was the default. So now I created a TL profile and I'm assigning that TL profile and just saving it. Okay. So now my team leader is assigned with the TL profile. So now what we are going to do is we are going to customize um, our TL profile. So it is now just a clone of system administrator profile, which is a standard profile. Okay. So I'm going to do customizations on my TL profile. Right. So yes, before going to that, so somebody was asking me about how to get this login button. Okay, so I'm going to explain that. Yeah, what you can do is, if you need this login, you need to first log in as that particular user and give login policies access to the administrator. So let's go ahead and do. I'm going to log in as a team leader user. Okay, first, because I want this. See, now you see there is no login button here. Okay, so I want that login button to be enabled. So I'm going to log in as team leader user. Right. So I have logged in as team leader user. So if you see by default, this user has access to so many default standard applications, sales application, service application, and marketing, service, community. All these applications he is going to have access, including the custom application talent acquisition. Okay. So let's go to setup. So here, login access policies, if you type, yeah, login access policies. So here there is a checkbox, right? Administrators can log in as any user. So if you check this checkbox, then we are going to get that login button displayed to the administrator. So check on this checkbox, click on save, right? So now let's go ahead and see. Go to the setup again. Okay, now you can see the login, right? So once you have enabled the login access to this user, all the users created by me has been got the login access. Okay. So this is how you can enable the login link as an administrator. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, all right, let's discuss on the profiles. So profile is just like a component which is going to have, permissions, a set of permissions, and which can be assigned to one or more users. Okay. So each user should be associated with a license and profile. Yes, we have discussed this point. So while creating a user, assigning a license is mandatory and assigning a profile is also mandatory. Okay. By using the profile, we can grant permissions. So many permissions. Okay. We can specify what applications the user can access. We can specify what tabs the user can access. And we can specify what objects the user can access. We can specify what operations users can perform. We can create, edit, or delete the record, something like that. So we can also specify what fields also, field level permissions also we are going to, give it to the user. Okay. We can specify what page layouts user can access, what general permissions, administrative permissions, and custom permissions and system permissions the user can access. And also we can specify session settings, password policies, and what all Apex classes user can access, what all Visual Force pages user can access, external data sources, and custom settings to and custom metadata types, login hours, login IP ranges. So all this information we can set, all this, there are 17 points, right? So all this information, we can do the configuration at the profile level. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what applications the user can access. So we are going to discuss all of them in detail. Okay. So we can configure the user to, he can access only couple of applications. So that's the reason the team leader, I just showed you what all he has access. So now what we are going to do is we are going to restrict showing him whatever he needs. So my team leader belongs to the application called talent acquisition. So I want to show him the application talent acquisition along the custom application along with a few standard applications like sales and service. Okay. So there were a few others also applications which were visible to him. So let's go ahead and perform this. The assignment: configure the profile level permissions to the team leader user to grant access only to sales, service, and talent acquisition. So we have seen there were 5 to 6 applications which the user was able to see, right? So now let's go ahead and configure the application level permissions. So let's go to our org. So all this we can do only in our profile. So team leader TL profile we have configured. So we have just made a clone of system administrator profile. So now we are going to customize that profile. So this particular custom profile will be customizable to any extent. So we can customize uh, with all the details, okay? But the standard profiles, we can customize it only to a little, some extent. A few permissions we cannot change, but this one we can change it, okay? So let's go to the profile. Okay, so go to a section. Okay, application permissions, we'll have something like. All right, so let's go ahead and click on edit. So edit the profile. So we are going to edit the profile, click on edit, and then here you just go. Right, you can see this, right? Custom app settings. Okay, so this is where we are going to restrict our user to see only few applications, not all. So our use case says he has to see sales application, service application, and talent acquisition application. Okay, so by default, so here you can see something like visible and default, right? So these are all the applications which the user was able to see. What I'm going to do is, and if you see here, we have our custom application also, right? So what I'm going to make is I'm not allowing the user to see all the default standard applications which are available. So I'm not going to. So let's say this is a custom application, FK. Okay, we were discussing Flipkart. Okay, so let's say let him see that. So many things here. So visible is like the user will be able to view this particular application, and default is like uh, which application need to be shown to the user when he logs in. That's the default application. So we can give only one application as a default application. Okay. So I'm giving. Okay. And the user sales application, I'm giving him access. And then do we have, so again, in this lightning, we have two types of application: classic applications, lightning applications, custom applications, standard applications. So all this we can give the access, right? So sales, both the standard, lightning, let's say, and I want to give service console. Standard service and service console, that is standard. And okay, if you see this, so sales, standard sales and lightning, and service, standard and lightning, and talent acquisition, I'm making it as a default. So as soon as this user logs in, he will be displayed. So here he will be displayed only with the talent acquisition application. Of course, he can navigate to FK application also, he can navigate to sales application also, he can navigate to service application also by making use of this app launcher, right? So yes, so this is what we need. I just added this one other custom application just to show you how it is going to be displayed. And then I'm going to click on save. Right. So now what we have done is we have given access to our user team leader. So only for couple of applications. So let's log in as a team leader user. Right. So here you can see default application. I selected as talent acquisition. That's why it is showing. And here, if you see, you have a limit, right? Sales, service, talent acquisition. Let's see, view all. Okay. I think that FK application I haven't configured completely. I have left it in midway. That's why it's not showing. Right. So you can see whatever the applications I have given access to him, he was able to view. And I have mentioned the talent acquisition application as the default. And that's why as soon as he log in, he is showed with the talent acquisition application. So he was into the main screen of the talent acquisition. So yes, if we want to go to sales console, sales application, he can go. If he wants to go to service, he can go, right? So we have given previously when we checked this, we were seeing multiple items, right? But now we have given only access to these applications. That's why he was able to view only these applications, right? So this is our assignment. And second one, we can specify what tabs the user can access. So even the tabs also we can, restrict the user from viewing. Okay. So there are some kind of tabs which we don't want the user to have a look at it. Okay. So let's say reports and dashboards. I don't want the end user to see my reports and dashboards. It's only for my purpose because I'll be doing my reports myself, right? So like that, we can restrict the users from the tabs also by default. So we have 3 permissions for tabs, that is default on, default off, and hidden. So default on, it will make the tab to be visible on the tab bar by default. Okay. That means it's the general. By default, usually default on we will select. But if we want to restrict a user from viewing some tab, we can off the tab. It will not display the tab, but he can add it from the all tab section. Okay, so we can off it, but he can add it. Right, tab hidden. It prevents access to the tab. User can't access this. Right. So if you do not want the user to even customize his tab and add it on top, we can hide the tab. Right. So let's go ahead and do this assignment. Configure the profile level permission to team leader user to grant the below permissions on the tabs. Opportunity default off, case, tab hidden, order default off. So these 3 settings we are going to do on the profile, right? So here, go to the profiles again. So we are going to profile called TL profile, right? So let's go ahead and edit this profile. So if you see here, tick mark, it's a custom profile. Okay, so we are editing. So we have given this applications. See here, you can see tab settings, right? So we can also check this checkbox, override users, personal tab customizations. So that means whatever tabs I wanted to keep it on, it will be displayed, but I'm not restricting to so much to the user. So what's our right? Opportunity off, case hidden, and order off. Okay, so here if you see there are three permissions: tab default on, default off, and tab hidden, right? So all these are by default, they are on. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to opportunities. So here it's default on, but what my task says is default off. So I'm going to put it as default off. So it will not be on the tab bar, but user can add it to his tab bar. By default, it is not showing on the opportunity all tabs. Okay, right? And then case tab hidden and order default off. So orders, I'm putting as off, and let's go to case tab hidden, right? So this is where our main thing comes in. If we keep it default off also, it won't be on the main tab bar, but the user can customize and add it to his tab bar, right? But if we put the tab setting as tab hidden, so he will not be able to see this tab at all. Even in all tabs also, he will not able to see this tab, right? So let's go ahead and save it. So let's see the TL user. Let's log in as the TL user. Yeah. Let's go to users. And then I'm logging in as team leader user. Right. So if you see, these are the tabs visible, which I have configured myself. But if you want to change it, you can edit. And here you can add more items, whatever you want. Okay. Let's say add more items, all. So if you want any other tabs to be visible, you can do it. So by default, I have removed the opportunities, but you can search for opportunities and add it. Okay. But even orders also you can add it, right? But let's go ahead and check cases, right? You cannot find anything because we have under the profile tab settings, we have marked this cases tab as hidden. So the user will not be able to see this tab at all. Okay. So here opportunities I just added. Let's save it. And here you can see the opportunities, right? But the cases tab, we have hidden it. That's the reason even though it won't be visible to this user at all. Okay, so we have hidden on the profile level. So let's log out. All right. So this is about the tab permissions. So these are the permissions which we have in tab, and we have done assignment. Right. So we can also specify what objects the user can access and what operations he can perform. Yeah. Let's discuss. So this is how the permissions or the objects looks like in Salesforce. So these are the permissions, the 6 permissions, the same 6 permissions are available for all the standard and all the custom objects. Okay. So this is read, create, edit, delete, view all, and modify all. Okay. So if you see, so these are all the default permissions for the user. Okay. But these two are the permissions not for the user. It is for the administrator. But yes, if the administrator wants to give these permissions to the user, he can give it. So let's discuss how these permissions behave in default. Okay. So R is for read, create, edit, delete, view all, modify all. Okay. So by default, if I say, let's go, if I just want a read permission, I can go ahead and select this. Okay. But if I want only this permission is checked. But if I want a create permissions, when I check this read permission will get checked automatically, because to create, I just want to go ahead and read, and then you will be creating. Okay. So by default, it's the default logic within Salesforce available. Okay. So if you want to edit a record, you will have the read again checked automatically. So if you check on this, this will be enabled automatically. So if you want to delete, you can edit, you can have read. So by default, all these permissions will get set, right? All right. So if I check only view all, so by default, the read permission will get checked. So that is how. Okay. So if you want to check modify all, so this will automatically check all the permissions. Okay. So modify all is the highest level of permissions for any object uh, an admin can give it to a user, or admin will usually have it. Okay. So this is the default behavior of object level permissions. So we have this read, create, edit, delete, and view all, modify all. Okay. So let's go to our org and see how these are being displayed, right? So let's go to our profiles. Setup, then profiles. So I want to edit. So what's our task? Okay, so here we have an assignment. Okay, so we are going to modify the permissions as per this. Okay, configure the profile level permissions for the team leader user on the below objects. So account, read, create, edit, opportunity, read, create, lead, read and create, hiring manager, read, create, edit, position, read, create. So let's go ahead and change this permissions, right? Let's go to our TL profile. Let's go ahead and edit it. So here, if you go down, you can see object level permissions. Yep. So these are all the permissions on standard objects, and see custom objects also we can see, right? So if you see, so as we discussed, we have this, all the 6 permissions: read, create, edit, delete, view all, modify all. Okay. So since I am the system administrator profile, I am given view all, modify all access. But yeah, so for this team leader user also, we have created a TL profile, which is a clone of system admin profile. So system admin profile is a high level profile. So for which everything is given access. So now I'm going to remove all these accesses. Okay. So I want to give access to him based on the criteria which I have written in my assignment. So for account, read, create, and edit. Okay. So for account, read, create, and edit, delete, I don't want. Opportunity, read, create. Let's go to opportunity. Yeah. Opportunity, read, and create. What is this warning? Although you are disabling the delete permission for this, you can still see I'm trying to remove the create, right? But the delete is already checked. So I have to come this way. So you can that's the reason it is giving error. Read, create. Okay. So that's what I want for opportunity. Lead, again, read, create. So leads, read, create. I want to remove, right? And hiring manager, read, create, edit. So this is about standard objects. Let's go to our custom objects. Right. If you see here, hiring manager and position. Hiring manager, read, create, edit. Okay. So I'm removing read, create, edit, and position. It's just read, create. Okay. Positions, it's just read, create, and just go ahead and save. Okay. So now the permissions for the objects for this particular profile has been set. Okay. So let's go ahead and log in as my team leader user. Right. So let's verify whether these permissions are working or not. So account, read, create, edit. So let's try deleting an account. Okay. We don't have that permission, right? So let's see all accounts. Oh, only this one. Okay. So I'm trying to delete this United Oil and Gas Corp. Okay. See here, right. You are not being displayed a button delete, right? So yes. So all these permissions which we were discussing will be appearing as a button, right? Create, it's associated with new button. Okay. And edit with edit button, delete with delete button, read is just read, right? So these are all associated with buttons. So I haven't checked. So for the account, I haven't given him delete option. So that's the reason in my org, I don't see any delete option. Okay. So let's see. Oh, delete option we haven't given to anyone. All right. Apart from these objects, other objects, he should be having the delete option, right? So opportunity lead and case, we have completely removed it, so it's not visible. So let's go with contact, or let's go with candidate object. Okay. So for candidate object, we haven't changed anything. Okay. So let me go to my add more items. Let's see. So do we have candidates? Okay, this object is not configured. So let's go to which objects? So if this again contacts is like we have association with our account object, right? So let's see whether the contact will have the delete option or not. But it's a right. So we don't see. Yeah, we have this option. So since we have this lookup relation between account and contact, and lookup, the child is not going to be get controlled by the parent, we have this delete option. So if account and contact should have had master detail relationship where contact is the detail of it. So and when I uncheck the delete operation for my um, account object, so here also I will have the delete option will not be visible, right? So I can go ahead and delete this record. Okay, case. All right. So before deleting, I have to, close that case. That is what it is saying, right? So let's take some other object. Mm. Let's go to order. So here what we have done is we have hidden, that tab, not hidden. We have, by default, we have made it as off, right? So, but now, but the user can do, uh, he can add that particular orders tab. Add to navigate, yeah, save. Yeah, here you go. And this, so for order, we haven't removed any permission. So by default, it has all the permissions, right? So you go ahead. Okay, so there are no orders. Yeah, we haven't created anything. Yeah. So, right. So what I'll do is I will give delete permission on one of the objects just to check whether it's working fine or not. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I'm not sure it's going to log out because so I'm going to profile and I'm editing. Okay, so let's give some delete permission also somewhere. for opportunity. Okay. So go to our profile. Edit. And here, object permissions. Right. Okay. So for opportunity, I want to give the delete permissions also. Okay. So for, yeah, delete. If we select delete, edit will be checked automatically. Right. I'm clicking on save. Let's go to users and log in as my team leader user again, who is having this profile. Right. So here, there should not be any delete button. Okay. So since we have for account, we have given read, create, edit only, but we haven't given delete. So if you see, normally the delete button will appear here, but here we can't see it because we haven't given. You go ahead and see opportunities, and here the delete button should appear, right? Oh, there are no opportunities. Okay, so we haven't created any opportunities here. So let's go ahead and see other options also. So hiring manager and position. So the difference we'll see edit option. Okay. Hiring manager. If you see read, create, edit. Okay. So let me pull out all the records. Oh, I haven't created anything. Okay, positions. I guess I haven't created any records here. Okay, nice. So data loader worked out, right? So here for the position read create. So you will not see any delete option. Let's see. No options, right? So even the edit option is also not there. So we just can read, we just can create, right? So we are able to read here and we see the new button here, we can create a new opportunity, right? But there is no edit also. So that's the reason even you can't see anything here. So if you have edit button, you will be displayed with edit here. If you have delete option, you will be displayed with delete here. So both are not there. We just have read. Yes, I am able to read it. And we have create. Yes, I have this new option. Okay. So let's check the create. So for everything we have given create. Okay. So we'll remove this create option and let's see if the new button disappears, right? So lead. So yeah, leads. I have read and create. Similarly, edit and delete won't be appearing here. So now what I will do is I will uh, go ahead and change the profile again. Okay. Uh, so instead of going to the application always, you can do set the default application as whatever the application you want. So only for one application we can give it, right? So profiles. And here my TL profile. edit. For the lead object, we were seeing, we did read and create. Now I want, okay. So read and create we have given. I want to uncheck this. Okay. And edit delete will be appearing. New button should be going, right? So this is what I wanted to test. Let's go ahead and save it. Okay. Users. Click on users and log in as my team leader user. Yeah, this is okay. So go to leads. Yeah, if you see here, there is no new button, right? But you can see the edit and delete buttons, right? There is no new. You can't create a new leads because I gave the permission for that, right? So I hope you understood how this object level access is going to work and what operations we are going to perform, we have learned, right? So today we have learned how to uh, grant access to the applications, grant access to the tabs, what objects the user can access, and what operations he can perform on each object. So all this we were able to do the demo also, okay, with the help of our assignments, the tasks. So I would ask you also to complete this assignments on your org. Yeah, I will give them in your WhatsApp group. Yeah, that is all for today's class. So tomorrow we will discuss a little more on profiles and then our permission sets. And I guess the administration tasks, topics almost all are covered. Okay, so yeah, later we'll discuss the remaining if anything pops up, right? Okay, that is all for today's class. Thank you so much. Have a good day.